While they were attempting to detain the individuals, Mr. Martin had a silver Ruger handgun that was located next to him, as well as a crowbar. Officers interviewed Mr. Martin. He was Mirandized. They did speak with him about this case. They also located 3 sets of financial transaction cards on his person, one belonging to Ms. Angelica Smith. It was a Capital One card, Saks Fifth card, Sam's Club card. They also located cards belonging to Mr. Leon Blue, a Capital One card, and a federal card. And third set of cards, Mr. Joseph Wilson, which was a Visa card. Mr. Martin stated that he stole the cards from somebody who originally stole them. Officers were able to make contact with the victim, Ms. Smith, whose home had been burglarized the day before on September 9th. There was ring camera footage that captured the individuals who were surveilling the property, circling the property, and ultimately entered into the property, taking some items, including the cards and some other items. Officers were able to locate some of that clothing in the backpacks of the stolen vehicle. And that was the actual basis for it.
All right. Can you give me the minimums and maximums for the charges, please?
Yes.
Oh, you have to get a different book. While you're looking those up, let me get criminal history information, if any, from Ms. Jackson.
There are no priors, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Rios, while Ms. Davis is getting those, tell me why this is an Alford plea.
Yes, Your Honor, because the Alford plea is to the other charges, the financial the financial transaction of the cards that he had on him. He's admitting to those. That's a regular guilty plea. But the other charges, he's saying that he was just picked up with these group of boys. They had the stuff in the car. He saw the cards in the car, took those, but he wasn't. He's saying that he wasn't the original person who was involved in the initial breaking in. So that's why it's an Alford plea, Your Honor.
Got it. He's saying he basically came late to the process of the burglary. It was over. He was in this stolen car with, he says, other boys, although one of the co-defendants is a female.
Well, yeah, I said other boys. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was thinking they're all boys, but yes, one's a girl, I believe.
Miss Bernard, right.
Right. So that's why he's pleading to that, but he's admitting to taking the cards and that.
Okay. The gun and the crowbar?
Just in the car.
They were in the car. Okay, got it. But he is entering this as an Alford plea because a jury might say, of course you're saying you came later, but you were in the car with all these things, and that's circumstantial evidence that he was a participant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay.
Should I say the other stuff I want?
You can, if we're ready with let's get the minimums and maximums first.
For the burglary, it would be 1 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
For the death by receiving, 1 to 5 years.
Okay.
It's actually 1 to 3. The financial transaction part for 1 to 3 years. The possession of the firearm is 5 years consecutive. And possession of the tools is 1 to 5 years.
1 to 5. Okay. I think the car would be at least 1 to 5 because it's 25,000 or more is the value. So I wasn't sure. Okay. It sounds like the burglary has the biggest range. Okay. Thank you. Anything you want to say now?
Yes, Your Honor. He is working. I know I provided the one job he's working at, which is Shake Shack. Oh, Shake Shack, right? What were you? Yeah. But he also is doing construction and HireQuest. Is that what you HireQuest? It's a temp agency. Right? Yeah. So he's working through. So he's been working hard since then and trying to get back to school. So he's been on the right path. His mom wasn't able to be here, but I sent she wrote a note that I sent, and his dad is here and has been coming to his court date. So I think his parents have him on the right track. And so I'm asking for him to have 5 years probation on the other charges that are not the gun charge, which has to be the 5 years consecutive, with a 3-year behavioral incentive date. This would be his first felony, so I'm asking for him to be treated as a first offender.
Ms. Davis, I think, again, you didn't say what the state's recommendation is. Okay,
The initial offer was 1 year to serve, and we will stick with that recommendation based on the facts.
okay. So that would address all the counts except for count 5, which has to be 5 years consecutive. So how do you structure the whole thing? Is it a year to serve plus 5 probation plus 5 suspended?
5 years served, 5 years probation consecutive to the initial term.
So,
Basically, a total of 10 years.
got it. Okay. So 10 years to serve 1 balance probated. All right. Got it. Any conditions of probation?
And at the horse, and some community service, there are 360 hours community service.
Okay. I'll say no contact with victim and stay away from that residence that was burgled. All right. Restitution, it sounds like these things were recovered. Is there additional restitution or not?
This time, I believe the items were returned. I would ask to preserve it if we do receive some new information.
Okay. Trying to read the letter from mom. It's small, so I'm making it big. Go. So your mom says that you've been at Waffle House and Shake Shack?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Are you at both right now or?
No, sir. My Waffle House was my recent job. Now I work at Shake Shack in Midtown.
Okay. What happened to the Waffle House job?
Shake Shack is a better job, so that's why I left.
Oh, so you left for a better, like it pays better or it's better hours or whatever it is?
It's like pay better, than also they'll give out mental and insurance and stuff. So it's like better opportunities
Better benefits. Okay. And how long have you been at Shake Shack?
for about 3-4 months now.
Well, that took a turn. This final segment of Amari Martin's hearing pulled everything Together evidence, character, sentencing recommendations, and gave us a pretty layered view of how the justice system weighs youth, mistakes, and second chances. If you've been following Mr. Martin's case, you know he's 18, pled under Alford to a mix of serious charged burglary, financial card theft, gun possession, and Morand. In this part, we finally got the full backstory. Turns out, the plea wasn't just about what happened, but also about how and when Mr. Martin got involved. The state's case filled in some gaps. When officers found Mr. Martin sleeping in a stolen Toyota Sienna, he had a silver Ruger handgun and a crowbar next to him. That's already a problem. But then they also found 3 sets of financial transaction cards on High Meach from different victims. One of those victims, Angelica Smith, had her home burglarized the day before. Surveillance footage showed people circling and entering the home. Some of the stolen items from her home were later found in backpacks inside the Sienna. So yeah, it wasn't looking good. But here's where it gets nuanced. Ms. Rios, Martin's attorney, explained that the Alford plea applied to the burglary and firearm-related charges because Martin claims he wasn't part of the actual break-in. According to him, he came into the picture after the fact that was picked up by some friends, or boys, as it was put, though one co-defendant is a young woman, and took some cards that were already in the car. He admits guilt on the card possession but distances himself from the original burglary. Whether or not a jury would buy that, that's where the offered structure makes sense, acknowledging the risk of a conviction without admitting full responsibility. The sentence recommendation split into 2 parts. The state proposed 5 years to serve 1, followed by 5 years probation plus 5 consecutive years for the firearm charge, as required by law. Ms. Rios asked the court to treat Martin as a first offender, pointing to his clean record, steady employment, and support from his parents. Since his arrest, Martin has worked at Waffle House, Shake Shack, and through a temp agency doing construction. The judge even read a letter from Martin's mom, who couldn't be there but spoke highly of his efforts. Dad, meanwhile, was present in court, another steadying presence in a case that could have easily gone sideways. What really stood out was the judge's human approach. He listened to Rios's arguments, took note of Martin's work ethic, and even asked about why he switched jobs. Martin, without hesitation, said Shake Shack had better pay and benefits. That's a real-world answer, not something scripted. And it suggests a young man trying to make better choice 7 if his recent past hasn't been great. The probation conditions were clear: community service, anti-theft class, no contact with victims, and stay away from the burgled property. Restitution was held open, but since most items were recovered, the state didn't push hard, just asked to reserve the option. All in all, this wasn't just a courtroom checking boxes. It was a judge taking the time to balance accountability with a shot at redemption. Mr. Martin made some serious missteps, but he's young, employed, and if this hearing is any sign heading in a better direction. That's not always how these stories go. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.